Thank you very much for this honor to present this year's George R. Terry Book Award. Yeah. We had, I sometimes like to think that if you have something to write, you write a paper. If you have something to say, you write a book. And this year we had 65 submissions by authors who had something to say, and it was a tough job to work through them all. And here on the slide you can see this year's finalists, 5 of them. I would like to present our committee. Blake Ashforth from Arizona State University, Sonia Opper from Lund University, Patricia Thornton from Texas A&M University, Dan Wadwani from University of the Pacific, and myself, Tor Hernes, I'm from Copenhagen Business School. Now the criteria of a book award, of the George R. Terry Book Award, are very succinct and they reward the highest level of quality. It should be a book published within the last 2 years, but judged to have made the most outstanding contribution to the advancement of management knowledge. And contribution can be to management theory, conceptualization, research, or practice. Now, the award finalists. First of all, Imagine Futures, Fictional Expectations and Capitalist Dynamics by Jens Beckert. Second, The Conversational Firm by Catherine Turco. Reputation, Risk and Globalization by Terry O'Callaghan. And The Vanishing American Corporation by Gerald F. Davids. Now I will get to this year's winner of the award, which is by Lauren B. Edelman, Working Law, Courts, Corporations, and Symbolic Civil Rights. Lauren is a professor of law and sociology at the University of California, Berkeley. I just want to say a few words about this book. It is a book that addresses a crucial issue in society, and it is most relevant also to the heading of this year's symposium, which is about interfaces. The book addresses interfaces between law and society. And it offers an extraordinary analysis of the judiciary, the interactive dynamics between the judiciary and organizations. It contains a comprehensive theoretical framework and very, very rich data in the way of surveys and interviews, which provide a narrative richness to temporal trajectories going back several decades. Now, the book shows how labor legislation is not successful at addressing the aims set for labor law in organizations. And this is how the analysis really shows the dynamics between, on the one hand, the system of law and the system of organizations. So the book is a critical analysis of the failure to actually advance labor rights in society. It has also already been commented on in media, such as the Washington Post. There was a blog devoted to the book some months ago. Now, I just spoke to Lauren, and she told me that the book has a long history, that it took 20 years between conception and publication. So I want to say to all you budding authors out there, you better start now. It could take 20 years. Now I want to call on Lauren to come up and receive the award.
Good morning. My name is Carlo Salvato. I'm a professor at Bocconi University in Milan, and it is my great honor to be presenting the Career Achievement Awards. The Career Achievement Awards that are being given today recognize long-term excellence over the course of one's career in 4 areas of distinguished educator, scholar practitioner, service, and scholarship. The members of the award committee who reviewed and had to distinguish among many outstanding nominations for this year are Professor Prashant Bordia, who is the chair of the committee from the Australian National University, Trish Ray, University of Alberta, Mara Ole-Kalns, Melbourne Business School, Lois Tetrick from George Mason University, and myself. So the first award that is presented today is the Distinguished Educator Award. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2017 recipient of the Distinguished Educator Award is Professor Michael Hitt. Let me say a few words about our decision. So, Mike is the University Distinguished Professor Emeritus at Texas A&M University and a Distinguished Research Fellow at the Texas Christian University. Mike is a former editor of the Academy of Management Journal, a former president of the Academy of Management, and a former president of the Strategic Management Society. Over his career, Mike has chaired over 30 successful dissertations with over 97% success rate and has served on another 60+ dissertations. For someone with an extensive portfolio and achievements and impact like Mike's, it is not a small challenge trying to summarize his key contributions. But one set of nominators found a nice way to do this in the form of 3 C's: care, collaboration, and commitment. For care, they say, certainly this is a hallmark trait of Mike, his willingness to invest in individuals, even when it is unclear whether his path will continue to intersect with theirs. His students have felt that he, quote, treats his students as if they were a valued part of his extended family. In a profession where intellectual leaders are sometimes inaccessible to and off-putting for doctoral students, Mike's empathy and enthusiasm for research set him apart. For collaboration, number 2, they note, Mike's been a role model on research collaborations, selflessly fostering collaborations for his doctoral students, and celebrating their success regardless of whether he remains a part of the project or not. And finally, for commitment, they say, Mike acted as a role model of commitment to the smallest detail in designing and writing research. When writing, his students ask themselves, what would Mike do? Over his career, Mike has taught thousands of undergraduates and master students, as well as executives, and his nominators note his textbooks have reached double-digit issues and have been read by students globally, and his trade books have improved the practice of management. As one of the award committee members noted, I think I recognize this, a humble and generous thought leader in the field of management. This is the portrait of Professor Michael Hitt that vividly emerges from the myriad training activities he performed around the globe and from the intense letters of colleagues whose knowledge and career were enhanced by scholarly interaction with him. Congratulations, Mike, on this well-deserved recognition for your outstanding contributions and as an educator. Please join me on the stage. Let's now move to the Distinguished Award for Scholar Practitioner Contributions to Management. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2017 recipient of the Distinguished Scholar Practitioner Award is Professor Ron Burke. Ron is unfortunately not able to attend this year's meeting. Ron is currently the Emeritus Professor of Organizational Studies and Senior Scholar at York University. He has served as Director of the PhD program and as Associate Dean of Research at the Schulich School. He's the youngest professor to have achieved tenure and the rank of full professor at Schulich. Ron is the founding editor of the Canadian Journal of Administrative Sciences and has tirelessly served on the editorial boards of over a dozen journals. As nominators note, the impact of Ron's work is profound and has significant impact for women's work and careers globally. Ron is the author of over 600 publications over 40 years, with about 100 publications devoted to gender and women's issues at work. He has edited 57 books, of which 10 books have directly addressed gender issues, including one of the first books on women serving on corporate boards of directors. As a nominator noted, examples of his dual focus on research and practice is reflected in the titles of his many influential books. Let me give you a few examples. Women on Corporate Boards of Directors, International Research and Practice. Advancing Women's Careers, Research and Practice. Crime and Corruption in Organizations, Why it Occurs and What to Do about it. Building More Effective Organizations, HR Management and Performance in Practice. Nominators commented on his work with organizations to improve working lives, particularly for women. As an example, his help in instituting diversity practices at the Toronto Dominion Bank resulted in a Catalyst Award for the bank. A member of the award committee noted, in addition to a strong publishing and teaching record, Ron has contributed in multiple ways to improving women's opportunities and abilities to take on important leadership roles, including positions on corporate boards. His activities have led to significant advancements for women in the business community. Congratulations to Professor Burke on his well-deserved recognition for his outstanding contributions as a scholar practitioner in management. Let's now move to the third one, Distinguished Service Award. It is again my pleasure to announce that the 2017 recipients of the Distinguished Service Award is Professor Dwayne Ireland. Dwayne Ireland is a university distinguished professor and holds the Benton Kochenauer Chair in Business at Texas A&M University. As a nominator noted, and the award committee agreed, Dwayne has accomplished all three criteria for the award and has achieved an AOM service trifecta. As examples of his contributions and recognitions in enhancing a field of study, Dwayne received the 2016 Journal of Management Scholarly Impact Award. He has received awards for the best article published in the Academy of Management Journal in 2000 and the Academy of Management Executive in 1999. His research has received multiple awards from the U.S. Association for Small Business and Entrepreneurship in 2004, and he received an Association of Former Students Research Award from Texas A&M University in 2012. Dwayne has served as the Associate Editor and Editor of the Academy of Management Journal and the Associate Editor for the Academy of Management Executive. Plus, he was also a Consulting Editor for Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice. Dwayne has served on the editorial review boards of 11 different scholarly journals and has served as a co-editor for 12 special issues for scholarly journals. He has served in several leadership roles at the Academy, including on the Board of Governors, on the Executive Committee, and as the President of the Academy of Management. He also has served as a member of the Executive Committee and as a Secretary of the Business Policy and Strategy Division of the Academy of Management. As noted by one member of the Awards Committee, what stands out is the breadth, depth, and longevity of his service to the Academy of Management. In the words of a nominator, Dwayne doesn't just show up in answering the call to service, he leads superbly. Dwayne has served in significant service roles for his institutions, including numerous committees, and as department head and associate dean. He has served on over 24 doctoral dissertation committees and on doctoral workshops at the Academy. What stood out for the award committee was the kindness, grace, and consideration that Dwayne has shown in many years of service and leadership. In the words of one of the nominators, there are very many smart and outstanding people among the faculties of our leading universities and in our profession, but few have given so much of themselves as Dwayne has. So congratulations, Dwayne, on this well-deserved recognition for your outstanding service contributions to the profession. Please join me on the stage, Dwayne. Finally, the last one, Distinguished Award for Scholarly Contributions to Management. It's my great pleasure to announce that the 2017 recipient of the Distinguished Scholarly Contributions to Management Award goes to Professor Sue Ashford. Sue is the Michael and Susan Jandernoa Professor of Management and Organizations and the Chair of Management and Organizations area at the Ross School of Business, University of Michigan. Sue's academic accomplishments are not just inspiring, they are awe-inspiring. She is the only Triple Crown winner at the Ross School, winning the Ross School's Teaching Award in 1995, the Service Award in 2006, and the Senior Faculty Research Award in 2013. She was the first woman ever to be tenured at the Dartmouth College Amos Tuck School of Business. Sue showed early signs of a future recipient of this award. In the words of a nominator, her dissertation still stands as something of a role model to all budding scholars. She published a conceptual paper in Organizational Behavior and Human Performance, then published her pre-test data 2 years later in the Journal of Occupational Psychology, and then she published her full dissertation in the Academy of Management Journal. As nominators noted, Sue was the first to introduce our field to the concept of feedback seeking. Before Sue's work in this area, scholars portrayed the feedback process as one-directional, whereby organizations and managers provided employees with feedback, and the employees was considered as a passive and reactive actor in the feedback process. Sue challenged this dominant paradigm by developing and empirically testing a theory explaining how individuals proactively seek feedback from a range of sources in the organizational environment. She developed the concept, explicated the original theory, and conducted a range of empirical studies to inform and extend our understanding of feedback seeking in organizations. Her research on feedback seeking has inspired a whole generation of scholars, and her work now has over 17,000 citations in Google Scholar. And it has been covered in multiple literature reviews and has spawned new theoretical works. Beyond feedback seeking, obviously, Sue has made significant contributions in several related areas of research, including issue selling, proactivity, and social construction of the identities, roles, and relationships in leaders and followers. In the words of an award committee member, Professor Ashford is an outstanding scholar, making numerous theoretical contributions and engaging a community of scholars in research. She's a true thought leader. Congratulations, Sue, on this well-deserved recognition for your outstanding scholarly contributions to management. Please join me on the stage.